Part 287. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2861. Chapter 2861. She must be hammered to death in one go. She should be taught a lesson so that she would never dare to offend Mr. Gong again in the future. Then what kind of lesson should I give her? Gong Zili asked. Suzy thought for a while. A trace of viciousness flashed in his eyes, and he gritted his teeth and said harshly, "Tame the other person in his own way." She spread rumors indiscriminately and damaged the reputation of Mr. Palace, so we should also use some means to make her infamous. Oh? She is your ex-girlfriend. Are you willing to use any means against her? I have no feelings for her a long time ago, otherwise, I wouldn't have broken up with her in the first place. Suzy paused and said with a sincere face, "Please give me a chance to make amends, Mr. Gong. I will definitely give you a satisfactory answer to this matter." Gong Zili had a shallow smile on his lips and said nothing. Suzy waited uneasily for a while before hearing him say softly, "I'll have to wait until you do it to find out whether you're satisfied or not." Suzy was stunned for a moment, and when he understood what Gong Zili meant, his face showed a look of joy, and he hurriedly said, "Mr. Gong, please rest assured, I will definitely handle this matter to your satisfaction." Gong Zili looked at his overjoyed expression, curled his thin lips, and said with a cold look in his eyes, "Okay, then I'll give you a week. If you don't handle this matter well, you don't have to stay any longer." It's Gong's. At this time, how could Suzy know that Gong Zili had dug a hole long ago and was waiting for him to jump into it? Asterisk. Bai Yusheng and Qiao Chen quickly sent all the evidence collected to Qiao Mian. After receiving the evidence, Qiao Mian looked at it and felt that with the evidence in her hand, she could definitely beat Qiao Angzhen to death. She packaged the evidence and sent it directly to Linda, who in turn handed the evidence to Huanyu Public Relations Department. It didn't take long for Huanyu Public Relations Department to write a professional yet simple and clear statement. After Qiao Mian received the statement, she thought about it and did not post it on her Weibo immediately. She felt that since she wanted to expose Qiao Angzhen, she had to make it impossible for her to turn around. She must be hammered to death in one go. Although the evidence in her hand is enough now. But she wanted to be foolproof. She didn't put much effort into finding out where Qiao Angzhen currently lives. She took a day off from the program team and then took a car back to Yunqing. Asterisk. 3 hours later, Qiao Mian arrived in Yunqing. She did not tell Mo Yesi about her return to Yunqing. After arriving in Yunqing, she took a taxi directly to where Qiao Angzhen currently lived. According to the address she found, Qiao Angzhen now lives in a high-end community in Yunqing. Qiao Mian by chance, there is a property in that high-end community. That was part of the billions of assets given to her by Bai Mu. After Qiao Mian arrived at the community, the security guard at the door not only did not stop her, but instead respectfully called her Miss Qiao. Qiao Mian felt strange and asked the security guard, "Do you know me?" This is her first time in this community. Naturally, not just anyone can enter such a high-end community. She thought that a new face like her would definitely be questioned. This is the property of the Bai family. Everyone in the property management knows that Miss Qiao is the newly recognized daughter of the Bai family. And I have watched the TV series played by you, Miss Qiao, so I am no stranger to you. So this is Qiao Mian relieved her doubts and nodded. She looked into the community, "Then can I go in directly?" "Of course, Miss Qiao can come in at will," the security guard said. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2862. Chapter 2862 is Qiao Mian. All the houses in this community belong to the Bai family. Even their properties are working for the Bai family. The daughter of the Bai family wants to enter, of course she can enter at will. After asking clearly, Chiao Mian was about to go in when she suddenly stopped and turned around and asked, "There is a person named Zhang Xinyu who lives here, right? Has she returned to the community in the past 2 days?" Zhang Xinyu, the security guard, was obviously not very familiar with this name. Chiao Mian found out that Chiao Angzhen did not buy the house in this community. She just rents here. After all, the houses in this community are not cheap. Even a small apartment costs tens of millions. Large apartments are priced in the hundreds of millions. Chiao Angzhen made some money before, but almost all of it was liquidated damages. When she left Yunchinj, she had no money left. Otherwise, there would be no need to seek refuge with Suzy. Even the place where she lives now was rented by Suzy and helped her pay the rent. "There is a woman who looks very similar to me, haven't you seen her?" Chiao Mian gave the security guard some tips. After a few more seconds, the security guard patted his thigh and nodded, "I've seen it before. There is indeed a woman who looks very similar to Miss Chiao living here. She came back yesterday. Miss Chiao came to see her." "Yes, is she a relative of yours?" "Well, that's right." Chiao Mian pursed her lips and smiled. "No wonder you look so much alike." The security guard smiled. After taking a look at Chiao Mian, he asked curiously, "Is that your sister, Miss Chiao?" "Sister?" Chiao Mian repeated the 2 words carefully, then curled her lips and said with a cold look in her eyes, "Well, she is my sister." No wonder, no wonder." The security guard looked at Chiao Mian again, but was muttering in his heart that Chiao Mian was recognized as the daughter of the Bai family, and was said to be the daughter left behind by the Bai family. Her sister is not from the Bai family. How come he looks so similar to her? Could it be that her younger sister was also the daughter left behind by the Bai family? But if that was the case, she should have been recognized by the Bai family long ago. Moreover, he felt that although her younger sister looked similar to her, she was far different in temperament and appearance. Asterisk. After Chiao Mian knew that Chiao Angzhen had returned to her residence in Yunchinj, she went straight to the door. 10 minutes later, she stood outside the door of Chiao Angzhen's residence. She reached out and rang the doorbell. Soon, I heard a familiar voice from inside the door. "Who is it?" "It's Lin Huijian's voice." Chiao Angzhen returned to China, and Lin Huijin naturally followed her back to China. Mother and daughter lived together. Chiao Mian said nothing. The door has a monitor button, and Lin Huijin can see her from the monitor. Sure enough, there were footsteps approaching the door. After a few seconds, Chiao Mian heard Lin Huijin's surprised, nervous and angry voice coming from inside the door. "Chiao Mian. Mom, who is it?" At this time, another voice came from inside, and it was Chiao Angzhen's voice. Lin Huijin was silent for a few seconds and said in a weird tone, "It's Chiao Mian. "What, Chiao Mian is here?" Chiao Angzhen was also obviously surprised. The next second, the closed door was opened. Chiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin stood at the door. When they saw Chiao Mian standing outside the door, Chiao Angzhen's face suddenly darkened. She looked at Chiao Mian with cold eyes and asked with cruelty in her cold voice, "Chiao Mian, how do you know I live here? What are you doing here?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2863. Chapter 2863. So, Aunt Lin admitted it? Chiao Mian looked at her coldly. "It seems that I guessed right." Chiao Angzhen was stunned for a moment. She looked at Chiao Mian with anger in her eyes. "You guessed nothing wrong? You haven't answered me yet. How did you know that I live here?" Did you investigate me? Jiao Mian didn't say anything. He looked away from her and glanced at Lin Huijin, who was standing beside her. She raised her lower lip and said hello to Lin Huijin. "Aunt Lin, long time no see." Her greeting made Lin Huijin's expression suddenly change. At the same time, Jiao Angzhen's expression also changed. Lin Huijin looked at her with anger and fear in her eyes. After looking at her slightly panicked for a few seconds, she said coldly, "Jiao Mian, I have left the Jiao family now. Because of you, and Xin and I, there is nothing left. Are you still trying to cause trouble for us?" "So," Aunt Lin admitted it. Jiao Mian looked at the angry mother and daughter and said calmly. Lin Huijin frowned. "Admitted it? What did I admit?" Jiao Mian raised her lower lip again, and then glanced at Jiao Angzhen. "Admit that the person standing next to you is your daughter Jiao Angzhen." As soon as she said these words, the expressions of Lin Huijin and Jiao Angzhen changed instantly. There was a trace of panic on both mother and daughter's faces. "You, what are you talking about?" Lin Huijin was not willing to admit it. She immediately looked angry and said in a ferocious tone, "Where did I admit anything? It's all your own nonsense. I didn't admit anything. Jiao Mian, just say it if you have anything to say. There is no need to say such nonsense here. Do you have a problem with your eyes? Don't you know what an Xin looks like?" Jiao Angzhen was shocked and panicked for a moment, but she quickly regained her composure and said coldly to Jiao Mian, "Jiao Mian, do you have bad eyesight? You can clearly see who I am. My name is Zhang Xinyu, not Jiao Angzhen." Jiao Mian still looked calm. She raised her eyes to meet Jiao Angzhen's obviously guilty and panicked eyes, and said in a calm tone, "Jiao Angzhen, I have to admit that your face change was indeed quite successful. In your case there is really no trace of his former appearance on this face now. But even so, it doesn't mean you can hide your true identity for the rest of your life. If I hadn't found out your true identity, why do you think I would have found you here?" Jiao Angzhen was already a little panicked when she heard Jiao Mian reveal her true identity. But then she thought that her face now was completely different from before, and it was impossible for Jiao Mian to recognize her. So she quickly calmed down again. She thought that as long as she refused to admit it and killed her current identity, Jiao Mian would have no evidence to prove that she was Jiao Angzhen. But she didn't expect it. Jiao Mian actually said that she had found out her true identity. For a moment, Jiao Angzhen didn't know whether Jiao Mian had really found out or was trying to deceive her. She stared at Jiao Mian in panic for a few seconds, and finally decided that Jiao Mian was just lying to her. "What about concealing your true identity, and about successfully changing your face, what the are you talking about? Jiao Mian, you insist on forcing me to admit that I am Jiao Angzhen, what are your intentions? You want to force me to admit that I am your sister, so that you can whitewash yourself and make people think that the things I said in the video were all framed against you." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2864. Chapter 2864, Are you coming to settle accounts with me? Jiao Mian, you are such a scheming woman, but it's useless for you to play these tricks in front of me. I can see what you are planning at a glance. I won't let you succeed. When Jiao Angzhen said these words, she still felt guilty. Because she was not sure whether Jiao Mian was really deceiving her. But she also felt that she had not exposed any flaws. And what she looks like now is completely different from before. Jiao Mian is just suspicious of her at most. It's impossible to really find out anything. Yes, she cannot be fooled. This little Jiao Mian is definitely deceiving her and trying to trick her. Once she reveals something now, the little might really know who she is. Once he knows her true identity, the little will definitely not let her go. You know very well whether I'm talking nonsense or not. Compared with Jiao Angzhen's panic and guilty conscience, Jiao Mian looked very calm. She looked at her with a look that had already seen Jiao Angzhen clearly, and said calmly, "It's okay if you don't admit it. Anyway, I have all the evidence. Which beauty institution did you have plastic surgery at, where did you go through the name change procedures, and all the correspondence you have had with Suzy? Everything is clearly checked. If you still think I'm talking nonsense, then you know Drcia from Yuchen Beauty Institute, right? You've had more than 10 surgeries on your face, but she was the surgeon. Oh, by the way, she also performed the vocal cord surgery on you." When Jiao Mian mentioned Yuchen Beauty Institution, Jiao Angzhen's face suddenly changed. After hearing Jiao Mian tell her about the plastic surgeon who offered her the initiative, she suddenly panicked, with an obvious look of panic on her face. At the beginning, she could have guessed that Jiao Mian was just deceiving her. So now, she can be sure that Jiao Mian has really investigated her. The reason why Jiao Angzhen came back after plastic surgery was that on the one hand, she could no longer enter the entertainment industry due to her previous status, and on the other hand, she was afraid that Jiao Mian would retaliate against her. Seduce Gong Zili, which was also one of the reasons why she had plastic surgery. But the most important reason is that he is afraid of Jiao Mian. Now that Jiao Mian knows her true identity, she can no longer hide it. She bit her lip, raised her head and looked at Jiao Mian fiercely. "Yes, I am Jiao Angzhen." "Jiao Mian, since you have investigated everything clearly, why are you here to ask? What are you here to do now? Come to settle accounts with me. What do you want? Do you want to force my mother and me to leave Yunchinj again?" Settling accounts, Jiao Mian chuckled. "Jiao Angzhen, some of the accounts between us should indeed be settled carefully." Jiao Angzhen was stunned, and there was a trace of panic in her eyes, but she didn't want to show her timidity in front of Jiao Mian, so she insisted, "Okay, let's settle the score. Do you think I will be afraid of you? Jiao Mian, don't think that how amazing it is now that you can do whatever you want to others. When I come back this time, it will be impossible for me to leave again." Jiao Mian glanced at her lightly and said amusedly, "Do you think I will force you to leave Yunchinj? Jiao Angzhen, you are wrong. If I really want to settle the score with you, it will not be as simple as letting you leave Yunchinj. Isn't this too cheap for you?" End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2865. Chapter 2865. Angzhen is your sister. Jiao Angzhen seemed to be frightened, her eyes widened with fear, and she couldn't help but take a step back. "Jiao Mian, what do you want?" She used her voice to cover up her fear and shouted at Jiao Mian, "Don't think that now that the Bai family and the Mo family are backing you, you can do whatever you want. If you dare to mess up, come on, I'll call the police right away. Yes, if you dare to mess around, we will call the police to arrest you." Lin Huijin also had a look of fear on her face. She was obviously frightened by Jiao Mian's words just now. She couldn't help but take a small step back and grab Jiao Angzhen's hand. He raised his arm and said defensively, "Jiao Mian, when you were at Jiao's house, I was not bad to you. After all, I am also your former stepmother, and I have served Jiao Ruhe for so many years. If you want to harm me and an Xin, then you really have no conscience. I will find a reporter to expose your bad behavior." Lin Huijin and Jiao Angzhen had to be afraid. Now for Jiao Mian, it would be easier to crush them to death than to crush an ant to death. If Jiao Mian refuses to let them go, then mother and daughter really have no chance of survival. Lin Huijin said that she was good to Jiao Mian, but when she said these words, she felt guilty. She naturally knows what she thinks of Jiao Mian. She came back with Jiao Angzhen because she thought that her daughter could become a big star again in the future and make a lot of money. She wanted to come back with her daughter and enjoy the happiness. If Jiao Mian wants to deal with them, mother and daughter, how can she expect to have a good life in the future? Mother and daughter both have the same virtue, even their threatening words are the same. But these words were not threatening to Jiao Mian at all, they also made her feel funny. In Jiao Mian's view, the threat from Lin Huijin and Jiao Angzhen is like a paper tiger that spreads its teeth and claws and thinks it is powerful, but is a joke in the eyes of others. Aunt Lin, you can call the police now. Jiao Mian looked at the mother and daughter who looked like a joke, and pulled her lips indifferently. Just in time, Jiao Angzhen spread rumors, framed and slandered me. According to Weibo, if the number of retweets exceeds 500, according to the terms of the crime, she can stay in the bureau for a long time. If you call the police, it will save me the trouble of making another call myself. Jiao Angzhen's face turned pale. Lin Huijin's face turned pale. Jiao Mian, you came here, to want the police to arrest me. Jiao Angzhen wanted to pretend not to care, but as soon as she spoke, her trembling voice betrayed her. Because she knew that Jiao Mian could really get her into trouble. If she entered that kind of place, it would be worse than death. Jiao Mian just said that it was easier for her to just let her leave Yunchinj. The more Jiao Angzhen thought about it, the more frightened she became, and her face became paler. Jiao Mian, Angzhen is your sister. You can't let the police arrest her. Lin Huijin also tried to play the emotional card with a pale face. If Angzhen goes to that kind of place, her life will be over. You guys grew up together after all. Even if she felt sorry for you in some ways, it was because she was confused for a while. Once she realizes her mistake, she won't do it again in the future. A moment of confusion, Jiao Mian looked coldly at Lin Huijin, who was telling lies, and her eyes grew colder. Anyone who does something wrong needs to pay a price. A moment of confusion can be treated as if nothing happened. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2866. Chapter 2866. Find a place to hide. Then what do you want? Lin Huijin was a little angry. Do you really want to send an xin in? Jiao Mian, don't do things too badly. You will be punished if you do things too badly. Jiao Mian felt even more ridiculous after hearing what she said. She didn't really want to send Jiao Angzhen into trouble. Her main purpose here is to get Jiao Angzhen to admit her true identity. But since Lin Huijin said this, whether she had this intention or not, she still wanted to let Jiao Angzhen know what it feels like to be afraid. She even felt. You can really let Jiao feel at ease for a while. Anyway, people like Jiao Angzhen don't know what repentance is. Jiao Mian has achieved her goal and doesn't want to tangle with Jiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin anymore. She looked at the mother and daughter coldly. Oh, really? Then let's see who gets retribution first. After she finished saying this, she turned around and left. Lin Huijin and Jiao Angzhen watched her leave without daring to stop her. Although Jiao Mian came alone. But Lin Huijin and Jiao Angzhen both thought that she had brought bodyguards with her. So even if the mother and daughter hated Jiao Mian with their teeth, they did not dare to do anything to her. Both of them could only watch Jiao Mian walk into the elevator with an angry look on their faces, and then leave. Asterisk. What to do after Jiao Mian left? Lin Huijin was like an ant on a hot pot, spinning in circles. An xin, will she really go to the police? If she really goes to the police, what will I do if I catch you? There's nothing we can do against that little now. If you are caught, what will I do in the future? An xin, don't be stunned, talk. I think you'd better pack up and leave now, and find a place to hide first. You can't really let the police arrest you. Qiao Angzhen is now Lin Huijin's only hope. Lin Huijin was particularly afraid that she would be taken away by the police. I am even more afraid that she will go to jail in the future. Lin Huijin was originally a woman with little ability. She used to be supported by Qiao Ruhe, and later she was supported by Qiaoan. Moreover, she was used to living a privileged life with no worries about food and clothing. She absolutely did not want to go out to work and earn money by herself. An xin, please talk, why don't you say a word? Lin Huijin talked for a long time, but saw that her daughter beside her didn't respond at all, and she couldn't help but feel anxious and angry. Mom, have you said enough? Qiao Angzhen looked like she was extremely annoyed. She turned around and yelled at Lin Huijin, can you stop nagging next to me? I'm almost bored to death. He kept talking. Then you have to make a sound, Lin Huijin said angrily, with a bad tone. What if that little really goes to the police? It's not like a little can't do this kind of thing. You just don't do it at all. Aren't you worried? You have to think of a solution. What can I do? Qiao Angzhen growled. Behind her are the Bai family and the Mo family. What do you want me to use to compete with her? What's the use of worrying anymore? Then you hurry up and find a place to hide. Don't waste any more time. It will be too late in a while, Lin Huijin said, grabbing Qiao Angzhen's arm and pulling her into the house. Take your ID card, bank card, leave now. The police may have arrived now, hurry up. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2867. Chapter 2867. Qiao Mian issued a post in response to the scandal. Mom, what are you doing? Qiao Angzhen pushed Lin Huijin away with an annoyed look and glared at her. Where else can I go now? This Yunchinj is not the territory of the Bai family and the Mo family. Where can I hide? She can find me wherever I hide. Then, what should we do? Lin Huijin's face turned pale. Are we just waiting for the police to come and arrest us? Why did the police arrest me? Qiao Angzhen gritted her teeth, her face full of dissatisfaction. She said that I spread rumors and slander, but I didn't definitely say that she and Gong Zili were having an affair. Even if the police came, based on that the video cannot convict me. I'm not afraid of her, she's just scaring me. But didn't you say that she has the support of the Bai family and the Mo family? What if she insists on convicting you? Then I will expose what she has done and let people know how she uses her power for personal gain and bullies others. I don't believe it. She doesn't care what others say about her or look at her. Qiao Angzhen said this, but she still felt unsure. She couldn't compete with Qiao Mian with other things. So, she can only use public opinion as a weapon in her hand. But what if Qiao Mian didn't care about public opinion or what others thought of her? Then Qiao Angzhen really has nothing to do. Really? Lin Huijin heard her say this and asked dubiously, is she afraid of this? Of course she is afraid. If she were not afraid, people would not have her hot search removed so quickly. This shows that she still cares about what others think of her. Anyway, I will never leave Yunchinj again. This time, no one can force me to leave. Qiao Angzhen and Lin Huijin waited at home in fear for a long time, but did not wait for the police to come to their door. After realizing that Qiao Mian did not call the police, both mother and daughter breathed a sigh of relief. Asterisk. After Qiao Mian organized the recording in her hand, she sent it out together with the statement written for her by the Huanyu Public Relations Department. Her title has only 2 words, truth. After posting it on Weibo, within 10 minutes it was on the hot search list. Hashtag in response to the scandal. Hashtag surprise. Qiao Mian's statement revealed shocking information. Hashtag The reaction from netizens was also very intense. Holy crap, is everything Xiao Mian said true? Zhang Xinyu is actually Xiao Angzhen? This is too ridiculous. Damn it, today's melon is too exciting. The recording has been released, and there are so many stone hammers in the statement. This thing cannot be fake. Then this can also explain Zhang Xinyu's feelings towards Xiao Mian. Why is the malice so great, and why did she whitewash Xiao Angzhen and Suzy in the video? It turns out that she is Xiao Angzhen herself. But, it's so shameless to whitewash yourself. If Zhang Xinyu and Xiao Angzhen are the same person, then shouldn't Xiao Angzhen hate Xiao Mian so much? Why would she need plastic surgery to look like her? Of course it's because she is jealous of Xiao Mian's beauty. There is a saying that Xiao Angzhen's appearance is not bad, but compared with Xiao Mian, she is far behind. Maybe she has been jealous of Xiao Mian since she was a child, because she is prettier than her. Now that I'm married to such an awesome husband, I want to be like Xiao Mian and get a rich man. I just finished eating melon, which means that real life is indeed more dramatic than novels. I can tell that Zhang Xinyu has had plastic surgery, but she used to be Xiao Angzhen, which is really not obvious at all. She was dismissed by Gong. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2868. Chapter 2868 Xiao Angzhen's trumpet exposed. Zhang Xinyu turned out to be the former Xiao Angzhen. Not only did she change her identity, she also had plastic surgery to look like Xiao Mian. Then there were all kinds of slanders and rumors about Xiao Mian's cheating. Everyone feels that the amount of information is too much. Even though many people think this is nonsense, it sounds fake. But in the statement made by Xiao Mian, the evidence in all aspects is very strong, and it is the kind that can be hammered if necessary. In this case, it cannot be false. So, it is true that Xiao Angzhen is Zhang Xinyu, and Zhang Xinyu is Xiao Angzhen. After this incident was confirmed, everything that Xiao Angzhen said in the previous video interview with reporters no longer has any authenticity. If she is Xiao Angzhen, then the possibility of her deliberately retaliating against Xiao Mian is very high. It didn't take long. Someone found out again that the person named Xiao Xiaosan's nightmare on Weibo and Xiao Angzhen turned out to be the same person. When netizens read the Weibo post of Xiao San's nightmare, they were all shocked by Xiao Angzhen's viciousness. How deeply does one have to hate another person to send a Weibo post every day asking if the other person is dead? And it persisted for almost 2 years. And each Weibo post is accompanied by a terrifying, ghastly picture. The picture shows a man cutting off another man's neck with a dagger, and then the blood flowed all over the floor. Just looking at that picture makes people feel creepy. Not to mention, the woman holding the dagger in the picture has a particularly sinister and perverted smile. Oh my god, Xiao Angzhen is too scary. Does she want to kill Xiao Mian? I just came back from Xiao Angzhen's trumpet, and now I'm covered in cold sweat. It's scary, really scary. I really didn't realize that Xiao Angzhen is so perverted and twisted inside. She is simply a hidden murderer. Oh my god, when I think about Mian Bao recording a show with her for a whole day, I get chills on my back. Me too. Fortunately, Mian Bao is fine, and now we have found out her true identity. Otherwise, if such a person hides her true identity and stays by Mian Bao's side, who knows if she will do something crazy. After all, she hates Mian Bao so much that she wants to kill Mian Bao. I know people, but I don't know their hearts. Xiao Angzhen used to look so innocent, but I didn't expect her real side to be so scary. I also think it's good that Xiao Mian found out her true identity, otherwise it would be really dangerous. Xiao Angzhen's trumpet was exposed. She has been posting on Weibo for nearly 2 years, and the content on her Weibo is all about cursing Xiao Mian. Netizens were shocked, but no one believed anything she said anymore. And they collectively boycotted Xiao Angzhen from entering the entertainment industry again. Such a terrible person, to everyone, she is like a time bomb. I don't know when it will explode. Ang Gongzhen's trumpet was exploded hashtag. Ify's Xiao Mian is cursed every day hashtag. Get out of the entertainment circle hashtag. For a time, Xiao Angzhen became the most popular person on the hot search list. She alone occupied the top 3 spots on the 24-hour hot search list. Netizens were full of curses. Xiao Angzhen's current Weibo account newcomer Zhang Xinyu posted a comment on Weibo the day before, and received tens of thousands of scolding comments. Xiao Angzhen, it was you who shamelessly stole Xiao Mianmian's boyfriend and suppressed her at every turn to prevent her from developing in the entertainment industry. Why do you have the shame to think that you are a victim and dare to spread rumors about her? The trumpet curses her every day. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2869. Chapter 2869. I didn't expect it to be my own fault. Xiao Angzhen, you are truly the most disgusting woman I have ever seen in my life. Don't worry, my Anbao will live well and will be happy with Mr. Mo for a lifetime. On the other hand, you, a bed bug in the gutter, will definitely not survive. How long, even if you live, you won't deserve any happiness. Once a mistress, always a mistress. Do you think you can just change your skin and pretend that nothing has happened? A woman like you who steals other people's men and spreads rumors to slander other people will have your retribution. Just wait. Come on, people like you will never end up well. Asterisk. Mian, now netizens know Xiao Angzhen's true identity, and she also has a trumpet account that curses you every day. Now all netizens are on your side, no one will believe her anymore. Your scandal has been completely resolved. Xiao Mian read the WeChat message Linda sent her, turned her head and looked out the car window, feeling calm inside. The matter of Xiao Angzhen spreading rumors to smear her is finally settled. But she didn't have too many emotions. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel unhappy either. Hunkingming did not suffer any ups and downs because of this incident. Because Xiao Angzhen has long been an irrelevant person to her. She will not let an insignificant person affect her mood. But now that this matter is resolved, she can take a breath and no longer have to worry about it. Xiao Mian had nothing else to do at the moment, but she began to worry about another thing. She did not ask Mo Yesi to help her solve this matter. Instead, he found Bai Yisheng and Xiao Chen privately. It would be okay if Mo Yesi didn't know, but once he knew, he would be unhappy and emotional again. Just as Xiao Mian was thinking this, her phone suddenly rang. She lowered her head and saw that it was Mo Yesi calling. She felt a little guilty before she even answered the phone. After the phone rang several times, she slowly picked it up. Have you returned to Yunchinj? As soon as the call was connected, a man's low and slightly cold voice rang on the other end of the phone. This voice is not as gentle as usual. He didn't call her baby first like he usually did. Xiao Mian could tell immediately that Mo Yesi's tone was not very good. You came back, but you didn't tell me right away, and you didn't come to me right away. Where are you now? What are you doing? Why did you hide it from me when you came back? Before Xiao Mian could say a word, Mo Yesi confused her with one question after another. She was stunned for a while. How did you know that I returned to Yunchinj? After a while, she seemed to have found her train of thought and asked doubtfully. She did not tell Mo Yesi about her return this time. I didn't tell anyone else either. How did Mo Yesi know that she was back? Of course I know the man's voice was still cold and obviously full of emotion. I knew it just after you came back. I thought you wanted to give me a surprise, but I didn't expect that I was too sentimental. If I don't make this call to you, are you not going to tell me that you are back today? Are you not going to come to me? No, I didn't hide it from you on purpose. Besides, I'm already on my way to find you. Jiao Mian glanced out the window and hurriedly reassured, in about 10 minutes, I will be at Mo's. Mo Yesi, can I explain it to you when we get to the company? Don't be angry with me, okay? I really didn't mean to hide it from you. Let's wait until we meet to talk about everything, okay? End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2870. Chapter 2870 Waiting for her to coax. Mo Yesi, can I explain it to you when we get to the company? At the other end, the man was silent for a moment. Okay, I'll wait for your explanation. Asterisk. 10 minutes later, Chiao Mianmian's taxi arrived at Mo's building. After Chiao Mian got out of the car, she saw Wei Zheng standing at the gate of the building. After seeing her, Wei Zheng immediately walked towards her. Young madam. After approaching, Wei Zheng called out respectfully. Why are you down there? Chiao Mian asked. Wei Zheng replied truthfully, Mr. Mo said you would come, so he asked me to come down early and wait for you. After hearing this, Chiao Mianmian's lips raised slightly. Even though he was angry with her, he still asked Wei Zheng to pick her up. Even though this man was in trouble with her, he was still so considerate and attentive to her. This is Mo Yesi. Probably because he has always doted on her so much, she often feels confident. Only then will she feel that no matter what happens, there is no need to worry that he will leave her. Because he is always so easy to coax. Even if he gets angry again, she can just say a few nice words and act coquettishly with him, and he will be coaxed. Chiao Mian followed Wei Zheng into the lobby and entered the elevator. She asked, Isn't Mr. Mo in a bad mood? Wei Zheng thought for a while, nodded and said, Yes. But please rest assured, young lady, Mr. Mo is definitely not unhappy because of your scandal. Mr. Mo has 100% trust in you and has never doubted you. And Mo, I have already found out that those scandals were deliberately created to gain attention. Wei Zheng was afraid that Chiao Mian would think too much, so he explained specifically. Chiao Mian smiled, I know he won't believe those scandals. By the way, is he busy now? Mr. Mo has just finished a meeting, and he is not very busy now. Mr. Mo has been thinking about you these 2 days since the young lady left. Mr. Mo will definitely be happy to see the young lady later. Really? Chiao Mian expressed some doubts about this. Normally, Mo Yesi would definitely be happy. Only this time, she had to be coaxed for a while. Hope it's not too difficult. Although this man has always been easy to coax, her little tricks are no longer as effective as they were at first. In the past, it only took 1 sentence and 1 minute to coax Mo Yesi. Now if she doesn't say a few words or promises some benefits or something, he won't be moved. The benefits Mo Yesi wants are actually very simple. It's just, she will inevitably have backache and leg pain. Asterisk. Mr. Mo, the young lady is here. Wei Zheng reached out and pushed open the office door. After Chiao Mian walked in, he gently closed the door. Chiao Mian walked into the office and saw Mo Yesi holding a document in his hand and reading it. I don't know if he didn't hear what Wei Zheng said, or if he heard it but pretended not to hear it. Anyway, Chiao Mian and everyone walked in, and he didn't even raise his head. He seemed to be very focused on processing the documents in his hand. But Chiao Mian knew that Mo Yesi did it on purpose. Ignore her on purpose. Deliberately pretending not to know she is coming. He had known she would come for a long time and asked Wei Zheng to wait below. Now that she was here, he didn't react at all. It's because I'm angry with her. She is indeed emotional, waiting for her to coax her. The man sitting at the black desk only wears a white shirt, the simplest style, but it has a different flavor on him. He has an outstanding temperament and a strong aura. The clothes he wears, including the simple white shirt, become luxurious. End of this chapter.